First book I finished of 2026 is Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. It was gross in a very cool way, and I need to talk to y'all about it, okay? I'm RAYCH Rach Jackson. This book is for sure for the people who like thriller, but there's a major body horror aspect to it. If you're into cult books, like this hits a lot of sections, right? So I went to Call and Response bookstore on the South Side, Black woman owned independent bookstore. And I've been trying to get more into thrillers. So I walked in and was like, hey, can y'all point me to y'all favorite thrillers? Because I'm trying to read them. This book was suggested and it was right on the money. Gray spoilers first, and then I'm going to warn you when I give full spoilers. Okay? Because I don't play that around here. Our character isn't named throughout the whole book. You learn that early on, and then towards the middle, they keep trying to push an American name on her, right? She essentially is about to work for this cult, and then things get greasy. Let's get into the full spoilers. Now that you know the outline, please click away. Okay, so now full spoilers. Remember I mentioned how they started trying to give her an American name? Yeah, this book is about assimilation. Simple as that. This cult that I'm talking about is a beauty store movement owned by a billionaire where they at first start promoting. She works for the store, and you start promoting the products like, oh, this will make your skin clear, this will make your eyebrows sharper, boom bap bap. I say that because I just threaded these and I started looking at myself like, okay, you should, right? But more and more weird stuff is pushed upon you, like this will change the color of your eyes to blue. And our character, who is unnamed, is a child of Chinese immigrants. Hammering that in early, she really values the connection she has to her culture, to her parents. She's a pianist in this exclusive school that her parents can barely afford to even travel to see her play in, right? After this accident, she kind of loses hopes of playing, and then she is found by a random woman working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. Now, when I already, through the first introduction of, I'll say I just checked 32 pages. The first 32 pages lays the groundwork for a lot of the stuff I'm telling y'all. If you want to click away, okay? This book really pushed about like how far is too far, how to stay true to yourself is like obviously one of the underlining themes. But also, I'm not gonna hold you, it'd be white people be crazy. I truly feel like that is like a deep component of this book. But also, like, what would you do for beauty? How much do you spend for the cost of fame? Would you change your features? Would you change, And then when we get back to the body horror component, right? She does something that I was kind of shocked about. There's like this one moment where she our narrator is taking supplements to make her eyes bigger, and she forgot to take it one day, so her eyelid folds over and she has to dig it in. Like it is a body horror book. It also analyzes cult-like behavior. I enjoy myself. It's a dense read. One thing about me, if I'm reading something, watching something, and the main villain is like really offing a lot of people, something bad better happen by the end of that book. I want my payoff, and I got it. What you mean, Victor burned alive? Yeah. I was reading page by page, like, yeah, light him up. Now he does get away, but he's forced into hiding, which I think also ties into how much work Victor, tried to put into becoming beautiful, and then all his dirt caught up to him, burned alive, and now he's hidden. On the opposite end, our main character is, described as a monster by children when she walks outside, now that the supplements have worn off and she's had different adverse effects to untested products, and she could not be more happier. She's back on YouTube playing her music, and there's one moment where she reflects on, I know that the reason people watch me on YouTube playing is because they want to see my bird claw-like hands hit the keys with precision, but at the end of the day, I feel free. And that stuck with me because I was like, this whole book is about beauty, how far you want to go, and like the lengths to keep it, but also the shame you feel for going out in public looking a certain way. And by the end, our character has no shame and has no fear about being outside and living her life. I thought that was a very interesting end to the book. I won't simplify it and say good, right? Over and over again when you read the book, and then I've looked through people's thoughts, they say it's satire for sure. But I do think the way the setting of the story happens, and it, being in New York specifically. And it was just a lot of moments where while something fantastical is happening, in the same moment, I'm like, man, this could happen in real life down the street. Like, and I like a thriller like that. So, yeah. Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. You did your thing, girl. And get this. I didn't know that Constance Wu was out here that picked it up for they're developing a TV series out of it. Again, shout out Call and Response Bookstore. I just be walking in places and asking for help. And that's one of my favorite bookstores. And so I knew they had me. I didn't even know how the trajectory of this book we will be seeing in the next year or two because a series is being developed. Like, yeah.